Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. Wouldn't it be great, like when you get really old and you're like, getting toward the end of your life going, wow, I lived an awesome life. And, every once in a while, like if I ever, give anything attention that's really not important, I'll stop and think, gosh, wouldn't it be terrible at the end of my life to look back and have wasted even a moment worrying about something that really in the big scheme of things didn't matter at all, including all the material things or who's doing what or who said what to you. And later on you think, none of that matters. And one of the biggest gifts people can get is when they've been told they're terminally ill, or maybe they think that they might be terminally ill. There's this wake-up call that says, wow, all of a sudden all those things are unimportant because we have this feeling like we're going to be here forever. And you are going to be here forever, but not in this format. So wouldn't it be wonderful to create an awesome life and at the end of that life think, oh, what a cool journey that was. That was great. Woo-wee! What a lot of fun. And wow, I made it through some tough stuff, but I did it with dignity and joy and, good intentions. Wouldn't that be great? See, it's easy to be wonderful, nice to everybody when things are going well for you, but what happens when they're not? Let's talk about anxiety attacks. I want to address that because I can't really relate to them, but I got to think if I've ever really had an anxiety attack. I don't think I've ever had an anxiety attack. But I've had that old dark night of the soul, where you're just laying there thinking, you want out so badly and you can't see a way out. I think we've all experienced that. I think that's part of the human experience that really brings it home, that there are options that we have to find if we want to get out of that dark place. See, if you're in this place where you're in here, you're sort of unhappy, blah, 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 always worrying about stuff, but it's not till you hit that deep, dark place that you think, I can't take it anymore. Well, that is where Eckhart Tolle hit. He actually hit the, I want to kill myself place, where life wasn't even worth living anymore. There was nothing. He saw nothing good about living his life, and therefore was pretty much ready to give up until his ego completely let go. It was no longer in control. When you're going to destroy it, it lets go. Well, that doesn't happen to all of us. I have experienced that before, when you get to this point where you're thinking, there's just nothing else to hang on to. There's nothing to cling to. There's nothing to worry about. It's like, who cares anymore? You get to the point where it's like, oh, well, I guess the worst could happen. I'm okay. Because it couldn't be worse than feeling really bad, right? Sometimes you're not even in the worst situation. You're just feeling like you are at the bottom. At the bottom, it's like, why am I here? This is painful. What am I supposed to be learning? This makes no sense. We've all been there, right? Why? That is not separate from you. So we're going out here saying, why is this happening? That is us not feeling empowered. That's us feeling like we have no power, we have no control. And what's happening now is we're starting to understand that we're fully in control, that everything is directed by us. And that, as I shared in one of my videos, that we're actually doing it right now. You're actually on the other side making decisions and deciding what challenges you're going to send yourself, because you are the higher self. You are the thing that you're looking to help you. I know. It sounds cray-cray, right? It's not. Why? Why is it not crazy? There is nothing but one thing. Everything's one thing. Everything is connected. Everything is one thing. It's not just separate things connected. It's one thing experiencing itself in various forms. But there's no separation in that energy, nor time. So A little mind-blowing. We don't need to know all of that. We don't need to understand it. And it's beyond even that explanation. What I want you to understand is that if you have been or are, or you get into a place where you feel like you're going to have an anxiety attack, I mean, you absolutely are not feeling at all in control of yourself. That's when your ego has completely taken over and teamed up with fear. They're best friends. Why? It's a conditioned response that we have been programmed to experience that keeps us in a negative, powerless place. That's all it is. It is a collective energy that we've brought forward, and once we went into these bodies, we disconnected from our, let's say, our conscious awareness of what we are. We never disconnect from anything, but we disconnect from our conscious awareness of our capabilities, of our awesomeness, of our light. Some of us come in more connected to that light. Less veils are up. Others starting from a very deep, dark place. This is your challenge. When you hit that rock bottom place, there is nowhere else to go. And by the way, killing yourself is not the thing you should do. You don't get out of anything. And it's easier for you to deal with it here than it is to go to the other side. You are absolutely beyond your imagination powerful. Beyond your imagination. So if you're going to go to that deep, dark place where you're feeling like you're just having an anxiety attack, that is you feeling totally out of control. How can you feel out of control? You are you. You get to choose you and how you feel and what you think. And if you're feeling and thinking things you don't like, you get to choose something else. And when you decide you don't want to feel that way anymore, you can let it go. And the deeper and darker you go into that place, believe it or not, the easier it is to let go, because again, you have nothing to lose at this point. It's so painful, it's unbearable. It's unbearable. As a human being, you don't even want to get out of that bed or wherever you are, that black hole that you've curled up in. Welcome, my friend. You just hit the biggest opening to awakening. And some of you have experienced that when you absolutely go to an awakened state where you're not even connected to your body anymore. It's too painful to be connected to your body. Now, what happens if you don't hit that? Do not fight it. Do not fight that anxiety. Don't fight the fear. Don't fight the crazy beliefs and thoughts that are going on in your head. The ego that's telling you everything rotten. Don't fight it. Sit with it and actually pull it in front of you and look at it and say, all right, what am I feeling? I'm going to connect to that. I'm really going to connect to that. I'm going to sit with that fear and anxiety. Let's really look at it. Let's really connect to it, because it couldn't feel worse than you're feeling now, right? So let's connect to it. All right, there's a lot of panic, a lot of crazy thoughts. Whole body is feeling really bad. Chest is tight. All right, what are those thoughts? What are those thoughts? All right, and you start to look at it, and all of a sudden, they're sort of like, they start to lose their power. It's like, because you're looking at it. It's like, okay, let's do this. This is something that was in A New Earth, Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, I believe it's A New Earth. If you're going crazy with your thinking, ask yourself, let's do it right now. All right. Ask yourself, what am I thinking? And do it right now. What am I thinking? Yourself. Say it to yourself. What am I thinking? I don't know about you, I could probably sit here for an hour and not have a thought. As soon as you ask it, it's almost like the other side, the ego's waiting for the answer. What am I thinking? Well, you're in charge. So what are you thinking? But because you're addressing it and you're looking right at it, there's nothing there. There literally is nothing. Literally is nothing there. Why? Because there's nothing separate from you. It's made up in your head. It's made up that there's some power out there, that there's something going on that's negative, that there's something that's taking you down, that there's something that can happen to you that hasn't, that there's something that's, has bad intentions, that can punish you, that acts independently from you. All lies. But if you believe them, they're real. When you have an anxiety attack, you pull back. See, we fight it. I don't want to feel this way. I hate this. I hate myself. I hate my life. Why are you doing this to me? And you're spiraling down. Sit here and say, all right, let's bring it on. What is it? Come on. Come on. Throw it at me. Because it's by the way you doing this. Because there's no outside entity that's going to do anything. It can't. You have free will. You're in control. So you sit there and go, bring it on, because you're asking yourself for whatever deep, dark thoughts you're having to. And then you look at it and it's all of a sudden it gets very quiet. It's like, oh, they're not fighting this anymore. There's no conflict going on. There's no me, the peaceful me wanting, conflicting with the stuff that's going on that I don't like, that's getting bigger and bigger, and I'm fueling it. Because I'm fighting it, I don't want it, and you're fighting it, and then you fuel the negative energy, you're fueling the darkness. That's all you're doing, it's expanding. So if you hit it head on and say, nothing can harm me, nothing can truly harm me. No matter what situation I'm in right now, everything is changeable. I have that power. I get to choose. I'm choosing to change it right now. Come on, let's look at it. What is this thing that I'm so fearful of? Let's look at it. Come on, right here, let's look at it. Of being alone, of being broke, of just having no purpose, of feeling like crap, you're worthless. Where's that coming from? Certainly not the source. The source knows and is you, and the source is perfect, all-knowing, all-loving, all perfection, all light, and is allowing you to experience this crazy behavior that you're doing right now because you're choosing it. So quit fighting it. You're fighting it because you believe it's separate from you, and when you stop separating yourself from everything and everybody and everything you desire, and this is why people aren't able to manifest. They're thinking it's something separate from themselves that they need to get. And they think it will make them happy, which says, I'm not happy, and that thing, because you focus on it, actually separates you from it, because anxiety and desire and lack are connected to the thing you're thinking about. So people try to go into this positive, whatever. And somebody said, why would you tell somebody to let go? And I said, because when you let go, you are totally not trying to control it. You know it's done. You know it's already happened. You've got what you want. You're going to be happy about it. You don't have to worry about it anymore, right? It's already happened. That means I'm relaxed. I know I have it. I don't have to keep thinking about it. I don't have to keep trying to do, incantations and light candles and stuff. You probably saw my meditation. I should probably do another one. Look up one of my meditations where I light the candles. When you understand that even all of this fear and anxiety is you, it's just you choosing to connect to something that is dark, that you're experiencing, that you think has power over you. You're separating. You're thinking that it isn't you. You're thinking that it is something big and dark and evil, and that you are somehow some insignificant thing. Because you can't possibly go to that dark side unless you feel like you're insignificant. when you have power, even if you go to this, unpleasant feelings or fear or worry, when you still know what you are, you can get a grip on it really quick. You say, that isn't me. That's part of the collective consciousness. That's what I've been programmed to do as a human being. That is not me. I am the power of the universe that has access and is everything. Is not separate from anything else. There's nothing making a separate decision from me. So what am I going to decide right now? I'm tired of being fearful. I'm not going to have an anxiety attack anymore because I'm done with it. It doesn't feel good, and I think I'm done feeling bad, right? So let's look at it. What is that bad feeling? What is that? Where's it coming from, and why am I still feeling it? As soon as you start to do that and you sit and go, okay, you find out that you're not, hyperventilating, or the heart palpitations stop. By the way, if you have heart palpitations, I want you to, instead of going, oh, sit there and go, okay, let's feel it. Let's feel it. And just focus on it. Not in a panicky way. Just relax and go, okay, all right. Because when you're afraid, you tighten up your chest, you think you're having a heart attack. But say, okay, what if I have a heart attack and drop dead? Big whoop. I'll be in like a super happy place. It's not so bad. I always do like, okay, what if this is something, all right, whatever. I'm going to accept it. And then sure enough, it's something stupid. And then you sit there, you sit with it, and all of a sudden it stops. Why? Because you're connecting to it. You're the energy that's connecting to that. You're not separating yourself as if it has some power or it's threatening to you. And you connect to it, and then you realize, maybe, wait a minute, that's me. That is me. I'm not afraid of it. So when you hit it head on, that's the I'm not afraid of it. Come on, all right, I guess I'm going to sit here and feel like crap. Then you sit there and you go, actually, I don't really feel like crap anymore. And I'm lightening up a little bit, because what was that all about? Who knows? Making stuff up in your head. Blah, 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 blah. So anxiety attacks are very serious. They're very real. And they're very controllable. I want you to sit and look at it head on. You're a warrior. Head on. Say, okay, come on, bring it on. What's this stuff? What's this energy I'm connecting with, that I'm relating to? Because as soon as you start to do that, you're empowering yourself, you're raising your frequency, and all of a sudden it's not connecting to you. You're connecting to a higher frequency, and you're starting to feel better, because that frequency is not you. Your energy is no longer connecting. You're changing the dial to another station. I know this is difficult stuff. I know that especially if you have them on a regular basis, you're probably in a place in your life that you feel is hopeless. I want you to sit down and ask yourself what you can do today besides facing that and really looking at it and saying, it really actually doesn't have any power. It's actually I don't know why I'm getting all upset right now. What am I going to do to change my life? What can I do to change my life? To change this situation? To change how I think? To meditate? Even in the worst period, it's tough to meditate when you're in that state of mind. Sometimes you probably shouldn't even try it. But when you meditate, do the same thing. Hit it head on. Meditate. Come on, you and me in the room together. Let's go. It gets really quiet. And all of a sudden, you call in your protection, your angels. Say, I'm calling you in right now. I'm calling in the power. I'm calling in the guidance. I am giving full permission for you to intervene in my life right now and pull me up to a higher level. Show me the signs. Show me the way. Open up the doors for me to make the changes so that I can get out of this lower frequency, because it isn't the stuff that's going on around you that's controlling that at all. It's not that, oh, give me the job and give me the relationship or give me the house or whatever you need. That's not what's changing that anxiety. There are people who have nothing, that are broke, that are starving, that are in a euphoric, beautiful place. Don't judge that. They're coming from this place inside, not out here. And that's how you change your circumstances. So when you go into that place and you call in your angels, you're asking basically to raise that frequency because you want to see things differently. You want to see life as exactly what it is, just an experience. It's very short-lived. Enjoy it. Get lessons from this pain. Get lessons from the suffering. Grow from it. Use it to empower you to become something great, to break through, to create that life that you want, to be the light giver, the one that's going to show others that they too can pull out of deep, dark places. It's all a choice. And the planetary frequency is raising. That is actually documented by NASA, the electromagnetic field. Planets have shifted slightly. It's not all about, global warming. There's a lot more factors to global warming than just us using, fossil fuels. Our planets all shift, or they're all slightly shifting. Nothing ever stays static. Things will come to an end. This earth will come to an end at some point. The sun will come to an end at some place. It will all transition into something else beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't you be afraid of that. And I think that's that impermanence, that, feel like you're dying. Don't be afraid of that. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. By the way, when you die, it's you're not going to experience any pain. You actually disconnect from your body before that happens. So even that there's nothing to fear. And one of my viewers, her grandmother's dying, and everybody's freaking out, and she's at peace. And people say, "Oh, you're in denial." No, she's at peace, knowing that we never end, and that actually that's the transition to the most beautiful state. And from that state, she will no longer be in an old body. She'll be free and young and beautiful and get to do all the things she loved doing before she got sick. And she'll never leave you. My whole family is gone, right? Including my dog. I miss my doggy. And my mom and dad, my brother, my cousin, all died in a very short period of time. Do I miss talking to them? Not really. I'm going to tell you what, because they visit me in my dreams. My brother has not. My mom starts to visit me a little bit more. My dad visits me constantly. My grandma makes an appearance once in a while. She just recently did. I know they're all like having a beautiful time over there. They look fabulous. They're all healthy. They're all happy. And so how can I be sad about that? Just because I'm here playing out my role here, it's going to be a flash in the pan and I'll be over there too. We always act like it doesn't include us. Oh, they've died. Yeah, guess what? You're in line too. Get over it. It's just, there's no, what is it? Seal has this great song. So there's a light outside the window. Some people say yes and others say no. In other words, the light is outside that window for all of us. We get to say yes or no. Time is the difference between you and me. He wrote that song about a friend who was dying. And he was basically saying to her, there's no difference between us. We're both going to die. It's just time. She's going to go before he is. Time's the difference between you and me. And there's a light out that window. Some people say yes and some people say no. You have free will. Are you going to say yes? There's a light out that window. Open up those curtains, throw off the shades, open up that window and let the fresh air and the sunshine in, because it is there for all of us. Say yes. You're always saying yes to everything, so why not focus on what you love and you want and know that it is done? And say yes. And no matter what you see out here going on, no matter what you see, there's nothing that cannot be changed. And you have to know that. And when you say yes to all that is beautiful, including your thoughts and what you expose yourself to, You raise your frequency, and all of a sudden, those anxiety attacks, wow, haven't had one, right? Well, it's been a few days, then a few weeks, then pretty soon you're feeling really good, and you realize things outside you are changing too, because you're resonating with that higher frequency of which you're attracting now. That's how it works. Baby steps, it's okay. Sit with it. Don't fight this. Don't fight it. And you will find that it loses its power because it's not you. It's just something that you think is having some kind of control over you, and it doesn't. You have to believe that, though. You have to know that. And you'll get to the point where you'll understand that. I always ask for clarity. When I'm ever in a place where I'm just really not sure what to do or just feeling odd about something, I'll say, I ask for clarity. Ask and it is given. Free will, you have to ask. I'm asking for clarity. I'm not asking for things to be handed to me. I know that there are lessons that have to be learned, and that's what I came here for. And without that journey and that learning, I will not be the higher being that I was meant to become when I decided to visit here again. So I want those lessons, but I don't have to suffer anymore. You don't have to suffer. You can still experience challenges, and they'll be beautiful. You're going to say, wow, okay, here's a new one. Thought I was all that. I thought I was all enlightened, and all of a sudden something gets thrown at it, and you go, well, now what are you going to do with it? Sludge is coming to the top, my friends. So if you are experiencing these things, this is your opportunity to be something really beautiful, because that's what you are. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Experience that now. It's your choice. It may take a little while. You can do it. I'm counting on you. Namaste.